Hey, brother. How you doing, brother? You know you're an Israelite? Do you know that you're an Israelite? What's that? All right. Do you have any questions about the Bible that I might be able to answer for you? Okay, all right, that's good. We're here to answer questions too, okay? We're here to proclaim this word. We're also here to answer questions about the Bible. Now, were you in Christianity? Is that a Christian church? Well, we prophesying against Christian churches. Christian churches are all a lie, okay? They have over 45,000 denominations. When you look up who created them, they're all European men, okay? So, did you say Satan? Saint? Yeah, the name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. Like, for instance, are they Baptist? Are they Presbyterian? Are they ecclesiastical? What are they? Or do they call themselves non-denominational? Okay, Baptist. Okay, Baptist religion was created in 1608, 1609 by a European man. Okay? That's what it was created by. And all of this came out of what they call the Protestant movement, when the so-called Europeans wanted to get out of Catholicism. They wanted to get from under the popes. All right? That's all that is. So what it is you ever seen the movie Birth of a Nation with Nat Turner? You ever seen the movie Birth of a Nation? Okay, if you can, what it showed was how the slave master used a slave to read the Bible to slaves and keep them under control. And that's what Christian churches do to our people today. They're not raising up strong black men in those Christian churches. They're not raising up revolutionaries in the Christian church, are they? Do they tell you to speak against what's happening out here in society? Do they tell you to speak against homosexuality, transgender, the evil against your own people? Yeah, but the church don't teach you that. You see, back in maybe the 50s and 60s, they were advocating for civil rights. Today, they don't speak against anything. They don't just speak against anything. What they do today is they carry on the ways of the world. That's the reason why you have homosexuals all in the choir and administration of the churches today. That's why you got Catholic priests raping little boys and little girls and raping and having sex with nuns. Nuns getting pregnant. Ain't no nun supposed to get pregnant, right? Not in their philosophy. The nun should get pregnant because she's a woman. I mean, that's her nature, right? To have children. But then you have this so-called Europeans say, well, look, we're going to segregate a certain population of women never to have sex, and then we're going to segregate another population of men to never have sex. That's the priests and the nuns. I guess that must have been a Catholic. I guess that person must have been a Catholic. Well, let me tell you, all of it is a lie. All of it is a lie. Okay? So let's get back to it. So you got and what do you think is going to happen when a man who has a nature to want to have sex and a woman who has a nature to want to have sex, and they're told they can't have sex? What do you think happens? What you find happening is all of this perversion in the Roman Catholic Church. And by the way, Christianity is part of the Roman Catholic Church. As much as they tried to separate it from it, the doctrine is still the same. As much as Christianity tried to protest against the Roman Catholic Church, they kept, even unto today, some of the same doctrine. Some of the same doctrine, okay? And a book that'll let you know that is The Two Babylons. The Two Babylons. That book will explain the multitude of pagan things that happened. All right? Pagan things that happened in Christianity that came from the Roman Catholic Church. I'll give you a couple examples. The Eucharist, Catholics believe that the wafer and the wine turns into the actual blood and flesh of Christ. That's what they believe. I don't know if you knew that. But they believe that when you put that wafer and that wine in your mouth, it literally turns into the blood and flesh of Christ. Now, Christianity calls it the communion. It's the very same thing. Now, they may not believe that wafer and grape juice turns into the blood and flesh of Christ, but it's the same thing. It's not any different. All right? Then you have Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, all of these holidays all of these holidays that the Europeans, the Asians, and Arabs have created. Now, principal upon them is the European. They're the ones that have created the bulk of those things. I mean, you have Christmas, and you got Christmas all over the world. How is that possible if the so-called white man, red man, does not control the earth? How is it possible to have Christmas in almost every country on the planet if the European does not rule the earth? Okay? And guess what? We're going to get two scriptures to prove that the white man is Esau. We're going to get two scriptures to prove, but before we do that, I want to go to Matthew, another thing that all churches, whether it be Christian, Catholic, or Muslim, they all collect money in the form of what they call tithes. Tithes is not money. How do we know? Christ said it himself in Matthew 23:23. I'm going to get straight to the point. Woe unto you, or destruction unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, hypocrites! For ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. There it is right there. So I gave you some examples of some ungodly things, unbiblical things that these Christian churches, Catholic churches, and Muslim mosques are doing. Collecting of tithes is not money. You understand? It's food. It was meant for the widows, the fatherless, and the strangers that come into the land of Israel. All right? That's what it was for. Now, all you're doing today is making a small, select group of people rich, because they get a portion of those contributions. Those so-called pastors and other people on the staff of that church, they get a percentage of that weekly contribution. You understand that? That's why they'll bring in another pastor, male or female, and we know women are not supposed to teach. They're not supposed to subvert authority over a man. Women are not supposed to teach men. Women are supposed to teach children and younger women. That's it. As far as these scriptures are concerned, all right, that's what it is. Whether you like it, understand it or not, including you women, whether you like it, understand it or not, doesn't matter. The truth will always be the truth, whether you believe it or not.